Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Inspired Talks with your hosts Rai and Mai. Today we'll be talking about a topic that we're pretty passionate about, a sport that we followed for a good couple of years now. Well, tonight's going to be a numbered card for UFC. We're going to be talking a little bit about UFC 258, giving you our general opinion on the card and highlighting two fights that we think that you should definitely look out for and take the opportunity to watch. So yeah, I guess I'll start off by asking Rai, what do you think of this card?
I think overall this card is pretty solid. All the bouts are pretty evenly matched, and I think it's just got this vibe that for everyone who's fighting in general, this is like a challenging matchup for them, or it's a big fight in their careers. I don't know, it just gives me that vibe, like it's that real, like, eye of the tiger challenge moment. This is the kind of vibe that this card gives me, especially with the main event.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like it's it's a card that is for the more experienced fighters to show if they've still got it, and for a newcomer or someone who's been building themselves up to show basically do they mark up to it, are they good enough. So it's got, each fight kind of has both of those aspects or sides in it. I'll definitely say this numbered card, I wouldn't say it's like super stat and like something that a lot of people would get hyped for, but if you enjoy fights and you enjoy seeing good and balanced and well balanced matchups, I would definitely say this is a card that has been structured really well, and fights have been chosen that match up the fighters really well with each other, and you basically get to see whose skills are superior. Each fighter that's put into each matchup, essentially, they're very close in skills to each other, but it kind of is just going to show, I guess, whose skills are a little bit better, who's going to be a bit sharper, who's going to be more focused. So yeah, I definitely agree with you, right? It definitely gives that vibe of like who's going to come out on top type of thing.
Essentially, what if you were to sum it up, say if you're an MMA purist, this is the card for you.
Yeah, I definitely got to agree.
And even if you're not, and like you're a casual fan, and you watch UFC or with the main like name marquee fighters, don't miss this card. There might be some special magical moments in this card. And I've noticed when it comes to UFC events, even on like fight nights, not numbered cards, there's always those magic moments that happen unexpectedly. And I feel like this is one of those cards, that there's something in the air about them. It's not like it's not necessarily out there and open. It's like this inner feeling, I guess you'd get, like, yeah, like there's something really strong and energetic about this card.
Do you know, actually, right, you took the words right out of my mouth. Usually it's, like you said, numbered cards or cards that are not being like well received or that looked at by the public. Those are the type of cards that like people are sleeping on. Those are the sleeper cards. Those cards end up being extremely good in terms of the fight sense. You know, they end up having a lot of chaos, a lot of submissions, really eclectic and exciting fights. So I definitely would say that if you get the chance to watch a UFC card, numbered or not, take the opportunity to watch it. You could see some really amazing things. So I guess going on to what we were going to discuss a bit more in depth, we could talk about the fights that you and I were pretty interested in. I mean, you got some pretty, big names on this card. You've got Kev Gastelum, you've got Heinrich coming up as well. Has had really dominant performances. You've got good names on here, but I think the two fights that me and Rai specifically are looking quite forward to are Mohammed versus Diego Lima, and the main event Kamaru Usman versus Gilbert. So which one would you like to talk about first?
Um, I guess we could definitely talk about the main event first.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, this is like one of those fights where both guys are that good. It's like a real Clash of the Titans kind of fight. It's like you're gonna actually find out who is the best, or you're gonna find out that Kamaru Usman is one of the greatest ever. He could come to surpass all the records and expectations of that division as a champion and winning streak. Also, when it comes to Gilbert, if he comes out on top, well, then he sets that marker too, because he's beat someone in Usman that literally looks right now and could possibly be one of the greatest, if not the greatest welterweight ever.
You know, here's what I think, right? Like you said, there's going to be one of two outcomes. It's either going to be that Kamaru shows just how many levels he is above his competition. He'll literally be untouchable, unbeatable as a champion. Or it's just going to show that everyone's been sleeping on Gilbert Burns. Yes, the title fight and the person he's fighting for the title, Kamaru Usman, is probably his greatest and probably largest wall to overcome right now. But if he goes out there and he does it, he just proves that the skills that he has, no one has even seen half of it yet. So yeah, I mean, for me, the thing that makes this fight so like kind of enticing to watch is the fact that you've got two guys that are extremely well-rounded, extremely skilled, and very, very strong and powerful in their own right, and you basically get to see who is actually at the top of this division. If Kamaru goes out there and does it again and defeats Gilbert decisively, or even fights a dominant fight, it'll just prove just how much of a great fighter, champion, and all-around pound-for-pound fighter that he is. But of course, if Gilbert goes out there and he defeats him, we get to see something a little bit more new and interesting in the division. But nonetheless, Kamaru has stellar performances every time he goes out there. He just proves how good he really is and how good he knows he is.
Yeah, I definitely have to agree. It's like Kamaru is one of those guys, like, he shows everything in the cage. You know, he shows through that process, that experience, that grind. And you can see how much he's put in, not just in the cage, but outside to be where he is right now. When you look at the guy, it's not even like he gives the vibe that he's the champion. This is a guy that literally fights like he's not the champion. Like, he's fighting to win every time. No matter what, he's fighting there. He's there to win.
I also feel like Kamaru never fights lazily. He's always fighting like he's got something to prove. Even though he's the champion, he fights like he's the challenger. He puts everything on the table.
Yeah, it's just a unique trait not many fighters or people have, and it's something that's definitely sets him apart.
I think that for a lot of fighters, sometimes being the champion or getting that level of fame can change you. I feel like, if anything, Kamaru's maintained kind of a consistent attitude and outlook on fighting. Whether he was a champion or not, he's still grinding, he's still improving, and he basically hasn't stopped being hungry. He's still hungry. He still wants this more than anyone, and he's gone out and proved that so many times now.
Yeah, he's definitely shown who he is.
Yeah.
You know, he's shown himself as a person, you know, as an individual who's not saying, hey, look, I'm the best. He's not there saying that. He's saying, through what I'm doing, through what I'm showing, I'm doing my best. No matter what it is, every single time, I'm leaving every aspect of myself in that cage.
He just has a different level of intensity. I feel like in a lot of ways, he's purely about fighting. That's what I basically get from him. And something I'd be interested to see really is how is Gilbert going to deal with the level of pressure, you know? Kamaru's pressure and like work ethic and how hard he goes every round. Like, he doesn't stop. His game plan is so consistent. So I want to see how Gilbert will deal with that pressure. And since they're both really, really good grapplers and wrestlers, I actually want to see how the striking exchanges will go.
I think inevitably, beyond a battle of wills, I don't know. I don't think this is that kind of fight. This is definitely going to come down to who's the stronger guy.
For sure.
In that clinch, in these grappling exchanges. And beyond that point, that's how you're going to know. I don't know. I'm not sure. Gilbert looked a bit undersized against Usman. Usman is he's a huge welterweight. He's a big guy for that division. But you never know. The power difference could be made up there. But I don't know. We'll have to see. It will come down to definitely who's the stronger guy. And we've seen that Kamaru is really strong. We've seen that Gilbert is really strong. But when they both lock horns, as they say, that's when we'll really know. It's just one of those fights that you can't really answer or know how it's gonna go unless you watch it.
For all we know, they could be preparing something that fans have not seen them do before. Amazing things happen out there. Like, that's why MMA is so exciting. Even if you know how somebody fights or how good they are, you don't know what's going to happen until they get out there. That's the beauty of mixed martial arts. It's just so unpredictable.
With Usman, you can't sleep on his striking either. Although he's a pressure fighter, even in his striking, he has got heavy hands.
For sure.
You can't sleep on that. And Gilbert, he has got legit one-punch knockout power, and his striking is amazing as well. So we don't know where it's gonna go. This fight could go many places, but inevitably, I think it's gonna be decided on who's got that more horsepower, like that strength behind them, as they say.
I feel like as well, even if you do have something like one-punch knockout power, you can't be going out there taking risks against Kamaru Usman. It's just not smart. So I feel like they're going to be really intelligent in there, both of them, and kind of, size each other up, figure out what the other's going to do. So I feel like there may be a bit of a feeling out process, but I feel like they'll both be ready to go once they got a feel for it in the cage.
Yeah, it's definitely going to have to come down, like I said, in the grappling exchanges. Is it ever going to go one or two ways for Kamaru? It's most likely going to be a decision, a grinding dominant decision. Or Gilbert is going to catch Kamaru in a submission, maybe some type of guillotine choke. We don't know. But that's where I think the fight's decided, inevitably.
So you feel like if either one was going to win, that would be the method?
Yeah, usually when it comes down to this type of fight, where both guys are really good grapplers, normally we see good grapplers go to the striking. But I don't know. I don't know if this is that kind of fight.
You think they'll stick to their guns?
Yeah, I think they might. They might just stick to their normal plans. But as we've seen recently with Gilbert, he's fallen in love with those hands. His striking has improved a lot. So, you never know.
Well, when you come to a tight fight, it's best that you have everything prepared. So I'm sure that he's polished up on his striking and his grappling anyway.
No matter where the fight goes, I know both guys have definitely prepared for the other skills. But it's gonna definitely come down. It's gonna come down to that strength,
Yeah. Well, I think we definitely gave a lot of our insight and I guess a lot of analysis on the main fight of the card. So yeah, I guess we could talk a little bit about Belal Muhammad versus Diego Lima. What I would say about that fight, the reason why I think it's interesting is because both guys are on a free fight win streak right now. Belal had a setback against Jeff Neal, but since then he's been continually dominating, winning his fights pretty decisively. I just feel like it'll be definitely interesting to see Belal, who's more of a grappling and wrestling type fighter, tackle someone who's pretty like tall and long and lanky like Diego Lima. I just feel like it's going to be a good challenge for both of them, and like you said, it's going to be a really important fight in both of their careers. If Belal can go out there and defeat Diego Lima, I feel like he's going to start getting more of those bigger fights. What do you think?
Yeah, I have to agree. What interests me the most about this fight is it's again one of those grinding matchups, and I'm curious to see how both guys are gonna strike against each other.
Yeah.
Because I know Belal's style is normally he's a grinder. He's gonna pin you against the cage, take you down, be up on the ground. But his striking is also awesome, and although it's mostly used for pressure, kind of similar to Kamaru. For me, the most interesting aspect of that fight is definitely going to be if they end up having striking exchanges, how they play out. That's definitely something that I would look out for. I would I would be looking forward to seeing.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like with Bilal, obviously he is definitely a pressure fighter. He's got an amazing gas tank and everything, but definitely if it doesn't end up going to the ground, I would definitely love to see their striking exchanges. If they strike in the clinch, if they keep it in the center, I generally want to see how that fight plays out. It's interesting because I don't know if you would say it's a stylistic matchup or not, if it's a a grappler versus a striker, but I definitely would like to see how much Bilal's striking has improved, because his striking is already pretty solid and pretty good.
Yeah, something that got me thinking is during the times when currently how have fighters adapted, especially fighters that have taken time off,
Yeah,
the octagon, and how they have adapted in their personal lives and in the gyms. So I'm looking, you can tell a lot. So I want to see how, particularly in this fight, how both guys have risen to the occasion, or how that's translated into the octagon.
you know what I feel like is a lot of the time, in times like these, and also when you've been off for a long time, it's about you're getting your mind right. Your mindset needs to be in the right place, and sometimes you just have to get in there and have a fight. If you accrue more fight experience, more time in the cage, you can definitely bounce back. But I mean, both guys haven't fought for a while. For Bilal, I think it's only been half a year, but I think for Diego it's been more than a year now. So definitely for Diego, I think he's looking to definitely do his best to win this fight and build more momentum, because he has got a 3-fight win streak right now, but I think this fight is really important for him to win and pretty much prove and show that he's still got it and he's still relevant in this division. And for Bilal, it's to continue to build on his brand and build his name. So it's definitely, I don't know, I guess it's an important fight also in the welterweight division too. I feel like they're kind of in that middle pool of just going up and kind of fighting more of the higher ranked top 15 guys, the bottom top 15. I feel like Bilal's definitely got the potential if he can get through Diego Lima.
Yeah, definitely. So overall, I'd say this is a great card, guys. You should definitely watch it. And a question I'd like to ask you is, do you have predictions for the two fights we've discussed?
To be completely honest, it's kind of hard for me to pick against Kamaru Usman. I would go probably Kamaru by decision, but I still kind of want to keep my mind open to the possibilities. But I would say that Kamaru is just such a strong and dominant champion. It's kind of hard to pick against him. As for other fights, obviously the other one we discussed was Bilal versus Diego. It's a tough one, but I think I'll give that one to Bilal. As for the other fights, just to drop a couple more fights that you guys might want to watch out for, or look out for, definitely watch Brian Kelleher's fight.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that.
Yeah, for sure. Watch Brian Kelleher's fight. He's always awesome and amazing. Always goes out there, puts on a show. That's on the main card. They got moved up to the main card, so really happy for them. Check out Macy and Alexa. I think it will be a good striking match. And as for Kelvin and Ian, I would say watch that. I think it's an important fight for Kelvin to basically show people that he's still there and he's still relevant. So the main card is pretty good. It's got quite a lot of important fights on it. So yeah, just check out the whole card if you got the time. Definitely take your time to watch the card. There could definitely be some pretty good standout fights there you wouldn't expect. Any more that I might have missed, Ryan, that you think people should watch out for?
Yeah. For Kev Gastelum versus Heinrich. Heinrich has got a chin on him. He's a warrior. He goes out there, he presses forward no matter what. So it's going to be curious to see those exchanges. Gastelum with his striking, he's got those bombs, that KO power, striking accuracy. So it'll be cool to see.
Yeah, I think it's a key fight for Gastelum to build his momentum and his confidence back, and definitely as well for Ian to show that he can perform just as well with world-class talent.
And he's especially for Ian to show he's in that top 10. He's one of the best
Yeah.
in the world.
Well, guys, if we were gonna name this event, I would probably call it UFC 258 Proving Grounds. I think that's a good name for it.
Yeah, that's actually a good name.
Yeah, so watch the card, guys, if you get the chance. It's gonna be really good, and you will get the opportunity to see some of the best welterweights in the world pretty much go out there, leave it all out in the cage, and prove who's better. So that's what's exciting. Is literally, like you said, it's for a Puritan MMA fan to watch. Like, that's the type of fight that we're into.
Yeah, guys, just take your time. Watch this card. Watch this card. You really appreciate it.
Yeah, well, thank you guys for listening. We may do more of these UFC podcasts in the future, you never know, but definitely a card that I enjoy talking about and fights that I enjoy talking about. Thank you for joining me as always, Rai. You're an awesome co-host, man.
You too, Mai. Thank you so much, and thank you, everyone. Hope you enjoy it, and peace out, guys.
Yeah, if you end up watching any of the fights, let us know in the comments. Take care, guys. Bye.
Bye.